Hey, hey, I just wanted to come on tonight and remind you like the moderate perspective exists. I represent the moderate perspective. Like, I see a lot of the things that are going on in society and in the world, and the truth is, I don't really care. Um, like, I see all of the things going on with the grown ass men who have a problem with the fictional blackfish, and those men don't get pussy. That's just how it is. And then I see like Kanye West trying to virtue signal to us all to go to church and be Christians after he married a corn star. It's just like, well, then I see all the people who are like in the Arab community who idolize and worship Kim Kardashian as though she's this like perfect princess because all the boxes are checked. Oh, now she's a model and she's here and she's on the cover of Vogue and all these things. Like, you guys realize like real supermodels have covered Vogue, and in the wise words of Naomi Campbell, Anna Wintour can choose to put whoever she wants on her goddamn magazine. It's her choice. No comments, okay? I just really feel like some people are way too invested in shit that's happening in other people's lives and what they interpret about the real world from the internet. Like, the internet is interesting if you're looking for, like, I feel like if you're like a tween or something and you're looking for like influence and to be influenced and to be inspired, I feel like you can get on TikTok and like you can get that, and that's a real thing that you can have. I also think that you can be like an adult, a young adult, a high school student, a middle school student who just has a very real experience that's based in like race and culture and society and the times and like a little bit of politics, but not too much. Okay. And just like an opinion. And the opinion doesn't have to be like extra extreme. You don't have to be this like loud conservative or this like out of touch liberal. Like, you can literally just sit somewhere in the middle where you see the problems, but in reality you just don't really care that much. That is a perspective and an experience that exists. That is the perspective that I'm currently living, and I have been living for a while. I am really grateful that conservative media is now mainstream. Like, it's not just Fox News, it's also the Daily Wire, and it's also Jordan Peterson. Just because we've had this over-representation of the left for a while, which made it seem like everyone feels this way. And you have like the Emmys and the Oscars and all these TV shows and Vogue World and the magazines, and it's just like, you do realize that like more than half the planet isn't even online yet. You do realize that most of the people living in the world don't live in America. You do know that like most of the people in society haven't gone to college. You do realize that most of the guys on the dating apps aren't getting any dates. Like, you just all I'm saying is just be seeped in reality, okay? Every day, work on getting your own needs met. And like, when you're consuming this media by whomever it is that you're consuming the media from, just take into context that these people probably aren't serving you. Like, one of the reasons that I appreciate Beyonce is because Beyonce gave us representation of a black female experience that we hadn't seen on screen yet. We just hadn't seen it yet. But now that she's given it to us, like, I don't really need to see it again. I can just replay the old Beyonce stuff. Like, I feel like Rihanna also did the same thing. Rihanna gave us something that we had not seen before. She wasn't like redoing shit that had already been done. She was giving us new looks, new perspectives, a new frame, okay, that we just weren't familiar with. And she gave it to us unapologetically. And there were there were a lot of people who were on board, and there were a lot of people who weren't. And whatever camp that you fall into, that's fine. Now, one thing I guess that's really, sometimes it really strikes me, but like I am like very comfortable with being like a minority in this country and all of what that means, right? But you know, I'm not a silent minority, as in like, even if other people don't agree with me, I'm not going to be just silent about my own opinions on things, which don't really conform with like whatever the black group thinks. Like, I don't know, there's no like monolithic black ideology and political ideation. Like, there is no like black movement. Like, every black person who has a channel wants you to understand their personal perspective, which is different than another black person's perspective. All the black channels, everybody has something different to say. Like, there's not one thing. It's, who are you following? That person who has a name, that name and their intersectional identity is what it is. It's not mine. Just because you're following another black girl, she's not me. I am me. My lived experience is just quite nuanced and different. So, I mean, unless you've kind of been here for the ride and you've watched all of my videos, then you probably don't even know. So, there's that. And I guess I just really feel like there is a need to kind of just like normalize the moderate perspective. Like, we don't need to be that extra. We don't really need to go above and beyond. For a minute, I feel like we need to just like be around. We just need to be around. I feel like it's kind of happening where people are starting to come back to reality. You know, like the manosphere people who have been attacking really women, claiming that they're so great for just such a long time. I feel like they're coming back to reality slowly, because everybody has a ticket, and really everyone can use their ticket in society to just be in society. That's how it is. Like, women have a ticket, men have a ticket. I feel like the black community has been just very confused about how to use their tickets. Like, some of the women have gone into transness and just lost their femininity. Men have lost all of their masculinity and all of what it means to be a partner or a husband or a father or even like a community member or a decent human being. Like, those things do not exist in the current society. I don't really feel bad about it. I used to feel very sad about it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do something about it. I don't feel like that anymore. I am no longer a political warrior for anybody. I think the black men that want to save themselves will, but I think they need to stop riding the coattails of black women who are fighting their own fight. And black men are going to have to stand up and be men among men. You can't just be men around weak black women and believe that gives you some sort of title. The men in society have a hierarchy. They do. And whether you acknowledge it or not, you fall somewhere within that male hierarchy. So you're black and you fall into that hierarchy. So if you're making $60,000 a year talking about your high value because you're in the black community, Like, you're out of touch with reality. You're not. You're low value by definition. And you're black. So now you got two struggles. So you need to identify those and kind of get with the times. Maybe read a book. Joining a book club is probably good for everyone. Joining a book club is probably good for everyone. Please read a book. Please read a book. I want you to be better. I want to be better. I want us all to be better. I also want black women to go be humans in society and go feel some feelings and go unpack some emotions that are not filled in trauma porn. Go have some laughs, some sun, some smiles, some elegance, some integrity, some heartbreak, possibly, maybe like a little, right? Some middle class experiences. I want people to get rid of the notion of like, you need to be rich. If you are rich, I'm happy for you. If you aim to be rich, I'm happy for you. But if you are just content with like living a middle class life, I'm also happy for you. Like, I feel like you should stop listening to rap because it's full of trauma porn. It's like, who's saying anything that's like positive? Nobody. Who likes women? Nobody. Who's in a healthy relationship with a woman? Okay, maybe Tobin Wigway. Tobin Wigway, actually. A rapper who's in a healthy relationship with a woman. Who is his wife? I mean, we could start there. I mean, this may be the first time in fucking history that we could even have that conversation. That is a real experience that really exists. There's one black male who raps and has a healthy relationship with his wife. I am supportive. I don't have anything else to say about that. I don't idolize him. I don't idolize their relationship. I respect their relationship in the same way that I respect all of the other healthy relationships in society, and there are many. It is just that unfortunately many of them do not happen to be within the black community, and at this point, you know, I'm perfectly content with that. Like, I'm okay with that being the narrative. I'm okay with that being the narrative. I also think that this is something that I'm starting to realize, but I just want other people to like hear it from me. You are where you are currently supposed to be. Like, if you've done all the things that you are supposed to do, I'm kind of talking to women here, but men as well, and specifically black men, if you did not, like, you are where you're supposed to be. Like, you have the spouse that you're supposed to have. You don't have the spouse that you're not supposed to have. You don't have access to the women that you're not supposed to have access to. Sometimes you do have access to the women that you are not supposed to have access to. Like, sometimes some of those things kind of swap a little, but for the most part, look at your averages, right? Like, on average, what is it that you consistently get access to, and what is it that you don't? What is it that you have? What is it that others have? And also, what is it that you want? So I think, you know, once you've thought about that, and you've kind of made some decisions about some stuff, then I would encourage you to just, you know, move forward in your life. Keep going. I actually don't really have much more to say than that. To me, that's quite enough. I think also, like, one thing I've learned, and I guess I wish I would have really fundamentally learned this sooner, is like, you only have a certain amount of your womanhood. As in, like, you don't have an unlimited number of like risks that you can take, and kind of like time that you can give, and empathy that you can give, and care and thought and communication and explanation. Like, you actually don't have like that much. Your all of your resources are limited, just like everyone else's. Everyone's resources are very limited. You need to go think about what it is, how much that you currently have, because it could be that your cup is empty, in which case you need to go fill your cup, or how much you do have, in which case you could think about, using some in some way, or not. I don't know. Everyone's experience is different, but yeah. So being moderate is a real thing, and if you don't see the representation of yourself that you seek in the world, then just go be it for yourself. And maybe realize that others won't accept it, and they won't understand, and they might not like it, but it just kind of doesn't matter, because in all honesty, they don't matter. Like, I just saw a clip of something that was about something that's happening in China, where people are doing a skinny challenge or something. And it's like, all these people are so pale. They're putting like baby powder on their face to get more pale. And they think that this is attractive to the rest of the world. And that's how they feel. Beauty is just in the eye of the beholder. I think they look like ghosts. I think they look really bad. I have never been a fan of chinky eyes. I'm so sorry. Like, it's not attractive to me. To those who have it, it does feel like there's a whole slew of European men who love that look. And I don't know. Go for it, bro. Like, everybody should go for the shit that they want, that they find attractive. Like, have at it. But I'm gonna sit here as long as I'm gonna sit here and tell you it is not it, honey. Like, I'm sorry. That is just, they look really bad. They look so bad. Whatever. So that's how I feel.